Now, for the past weeks, we have been talking about a national export development strategy that will change the face of Ghana's non-traditional exports. Now, this strategy document, which targets to attract about $25.3 billion from non-traditional exports by 2029, seeks to vigorously promote and support Ghanaian majority-owned manufacturing companies to undertake various processing in Ghana and forward integration towards the selling of various liquefied products as well as chocolates, mass or manufacturing of chocolate in the consumer market in the country. Now, joining us for more on this is the director of the project for the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. He's in the person of Alex Dajawa. We're so grateful, sir, that you joined us. So first of all, what exactly are you aiming to target under the non-traditional export by 2029?
Well, thank you very much for having me, and good afternoon to your listeners. As you rightly said, the National Export Development Strategy, a document that has been prepared by Ghana Export Promotion Authority, working with stakeholders throughout the country and under the aegis of the Ministry of Trade and Industry, has an ultimate objective of raking in $25.3 billion of non-traditional exports by 2029. Looking at the current figures of $2.9 billion that we have, we think that that is not enough. Ghana has more potential than we are doing now. And, we export a lot of products from Ghana. So there is a need to prioritize the products to see which ones, give us the best prospect of generating that quite ambitious targets by 2029. And so a number of products have been prioritized, which have been carefully selected and listed in the strategy document for implementation from 2021.
It's interesting. It's interesting you stated. It's interesting you stated that it is an ambitious project. But how do you meet this target?
Well, the strategy outlines three main pillars on which the strategy rests. The first one has to do with the supply capacity of the products that we have currently. We have recognized that Ghana really does not have the capacity in terms of production to be able to meet the growing demand of the quality Ghanaian products that we have in the international market. So the strategy, outlines various strategies and interventions aimed at boosting our raw material supply. That ties in with government's own agenda of industrializing our economy, as it were. So the products that we have targeted will be given a lot of boost in order to increase their production that will feed the industries that are coming up, particularly under the One District, One Industry project of government.
One District, One Factory. Well,
so Alex, products, we are dealing with mainly products in the horticultural sector, but beyond that also we are looking at transforming the products into industrial products. For example, we are targeting cocoa products, even to the extent of chocolates, because that is where we know we fetch the money. So if we are doing under $1 billion currently of processed cocoa, i.e. mainly in the form of powder and butter, if we finish these products in Ghana by way of, producing chocolate, which some of our factories are already doing. For example, Niche Cocoa is doing marvelously well in production of chocolate. We expect that this will give us a lot more resources in terms of foreign revenue going forward. We're also looking at cashew.
Great, but let's take them one after the other. Alex, you talked about cocoa, and it's interesting. I have read the document for myself, and there is a part where you're talking about local taxes that the strategy hopes to waive off in order to make local consumption much more deepened. If you could walk us through this specific tax and how much of a detriment it has been in making cocoa consumption much more attractive.
Well, currently that again brings us to the second pillar of the strategy, which is the regulatory environment that gives incentives for Ghanaian producers, particularly manufacturers, to be able to be competitive on the international market. as it is now, we know that various taxes that are imposed on production, which we think that if we are targeting the export market, these taxes would have to be removed in order to make the production of these tertiary products more competitive. That will also enable even local consumption, because when we are dealing with the economy, it's not only export but also domestic, consumption and production, which is also very important. And so it's a two-tier approach that we are going to utilize as outlined in the strategy document. And
Great.
these taxes
Just before we end, Alex, one interesting non-traditional export which is gaining ground is that of coconut. And if our producers could pull this particular projection that we have from the document app, that tells us where we should be expecting coconut exports in the near future. We shall be getting that particular projection on our screen shortly. But the prospects of coconut, how much of a bright future do we have, especially when it's currently subsistent? Of course, you could see on your screen there, you're hoping to rake in close to $298 million from coconut by 2029. How are you going to transform this niche market?
Well, it all has to do, again, with the supply capacity that I mentioned earlier on, because coconut is a very important, crop now in the international markets, because of its natural nature and the fact that people are conscious of their health. So many more countries are, looking for natural products such as coconut, by way of even the coconut water, and also transforming the coconut itself into other tertiary products like the oil, which is in high demand. But if you look at the production right now, it's at a very low state now, mainly because of the challenges with production, i.e. the disease that has affected the coconut production for some time now. And so because of that, Ghana Export Promotion Authority itself right now is assisting, growers and producers of coconut with hybrid seedlings that are resistant to diseases. And these are supposed to go to the farmers directly for cultivation. And we are looking at, distributing close to 5 million, 10 million, seedlings going forward. And this will boost production. And once production is, boosted, there are a number of companies that are now setting up to produce coconut oil and other products from coconut.
Okay.
And these are estimated to give us a lot more foreign exchange in the 10-year period that we are targeting.
Alex, we're so grateful that you joined us. We shall be keeping an eye on your strategy document to see how best the non-traditional export transforms by 2029.